Boy, it was a big loss for the Dallas Cowboys. And to start the season without star left tackle Tyron Smith after he suffered a fractured kneecap and torn hamstring in camp on Wednesday. NFL Network adding Smith's injury and surgery will take place today. Hopes that he returns by December. And at 31, he's dealt with a variety of issues over the past several seasons, having missed at least 3 games every year since 2016. Taking a look at what his effect is in terms of that Cowboys offense, both on the field and off the field past couple of seasons. Again, with him on, they are statistically better. The problem is, it's not available that often. All right, from one lineman to another, Super Bowl champ and NFL analyst Ryan Harris joining us here. So with Smith out, Ryan, who stands to lose the most when we're talking about the Cowboys here?
Dak Prescott, 100%. Even when you look at past clips of Dak Prescott passing, he doesn't even look to his left. One of the things people miss about Tyron Smith is how big and tall and physical he is. I mean, he was just manhandling great defensive ends his entire career. So now Dak Prescott has one more thing to think about, not just on third downs, but each and every time he steps back to throw the football. Now, they will have opportunities with Tyron Smith out of Tulsa, their 24th pick overall, but it is going to be hard to replace one of the greatest tackles of his generation in Tyron Smith. And the other thing, too, just to give you an example of how good he is, in 738 offensive snaps last year, Smith only allowed 2 sacks. So that is how dynamic he is as a player. They will not be able to replace him, and the run game will be affected as well. So Dak Prescott will lose the most, but Ezekiel Elliott will lose as well.
All right, one thing I failed to mention about the 8-time Pro Bowler, insider Jonathan Jones says the current plan is to place him with in-house options, but again, they're going to monitor roster changes and see if they can add anything. At that point there, Ryan, where do you start finding leadership to plug in holes with all the things that they've had issues with? Of course, Lyle Collins not there anymore, Connor Williams leaving in free agency. Where do you go?
Well, you go to the waiver wire. There are going to be some opportunities in terms of other teams releasing veterans. Maybe they feel better now after training camp about the tackle that they have or they drafted. But as I said, they got Tyron Smith. That's the 24th pick overall, played tackle at Tulsa. It is very rare that a rookie tackle comes in. I know we're all used to Tristan Wirfs over there at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Tyron Smith is going to be an option for them. And then they may make some other choices. Could you move Pro Bowler Zach Martin out of his Pro Bowl spot into the tackle position? There's going to be something different. I mean, they have to find leadership, and this is going to be the only place to do it. By the way, right here, Martin has more Pro Bowl appearances than holding calls. So they are going to have to turn to Zach Martin in a big, big way. And they're going to have to go to the waiver wire after cut days to try and find a veteran to help them at that tackle position.
We know Dallas has some issues with the O-line. We know Tampa Bay having issues with the O-line. But Tom Brady going to start against the Colts in their final preseason game after an 11-day excused absence that ended on Monday. Ryan, give me your thoughts here. Is it smart to play Tom Brady this weekend?
Absolutely. I bet you it was Tom Brady's idea. Listen, he's not going into this game at this point unless he wants to, and he's just showing how much he can control the narrative. Everybody's talking now about the fact that he's going to play in the preseason. Russell Wilson's not playing. A lot of big-time quarterbacks are not playing. So he's already changed the narrative from his 11-day absence. And what I love to hear and read is that he came into practice and was picked up just where he left off. They were excited to have him back, the teammates, and it's going to be fun. But I got the under on 8.5 plays here, Tommy. I don't think you're going to see Tom Brady for long, just long enough to shut everybody up about his time off.
All right, Brady is not yet again publicly addressing that absence, but has played at least the few preseason snaps that he's ever had in his career. We are nearing cut-down day, just 1 week away with the preseason remaining. Teams are nearing one of the busiest days on the annual calendar. What is it like for a fringe player during this period of time?
Well, it's brutal. You know, a lot of players, everybody thinks, oh, we know who the 53 is or this guy's on the bubble, but every single player that's still on that 80-man roster believes in the reasons why they will make the team. The one time I was released, middle of my career, it was devastating. They come up to you and they say, hey, coach wants to see you, bring your playbook. I think they say now, bring your iPad. And when you take that walk up the stairs to the front office, your entire life is being shown in front of you. You didn't think about what you were going to do if you got released. Not a single player would. And no one watching right now would do that either. If you're in the NFL, you're believing in the best story that you can tell yourself as to why you'll make it. But then two things happen: elimination or dedication. I talked to a head coach in the NFL yesterday. I said, what's the toughest part about cut day? He goes, the weird thing is some players don't want to know what they can do to get better. I mean, could you imagine that? Some people are just so happy to leave that they don't want to know what they can do to get better. And then in some cases like mine, dedication happens where players get an opportunity to extend their career, and hopefully they can win a Super Bowl as they age out of the NFL.
All teams got to get down to 53 players, 4 p.m. Eastern on the 30th. Or thanks to Ryan Harris breaking it down here on CBS Sports HQ. Ryan, certainly appreciate all things covered. Kevin O'Connell on the Vikings offense, first year as a head coach. That Nick Mullins trade and hitting the gritty plus Patrick Peterson training camp takeaways. They're back at Vikings camp. PP and B-Mac.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.